Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Fight Talks. Today we're talking about the fight between Ryan Garcia and Rolando Romero. This match took place last Friday, May the 2nd, 2025 in Times Square, New York City. It was for the vacant WBA regular welterweight title. This was the main event of a stacked card that featured other big stars, other big names that you may know, including Devin Haney, a former opponent of Ryan Garcia, and Teofimo Lopez. Damn, I always mess up that name. Teofimo Lopez. It was a night full of action, and this fight was a headliner. One interesting detail is that Devin Haney was actually in the crowd. You can see him on TV. He was in the crowd, anxiously waiting for the result of this fight, since his last fight with Ryan Garcia ended in a controversy. The outcome of this match could very well determine whether Haney gets that rematch with Ryan Garcia or not. You could tell that he was keeping a close eye on every round. Ryan Garcia came into the fight with a record of 24 wins and 1 loss. 20 of those wins were by way of knockout. Rolando Romero had a record of 16 wins, 2 losses. 13 of those wins were by way of knockout. Romero had previously held world titles in 2 weight classes, the WBA interim lightweight title from 2020 to 2021, and you may remember that he also held the WBA super lightweight title from 2023 to 2024. The fight started with both boxers being cautious, naturally, because they are both power punchers. They were feeling each other out. In the second round, Romero landed a strong left hook that sent Ryan Garcia to the canvas. This early knockdown gave Romero confidence and set the tone for the rest of the fight. As the rounds went on, Romero kept the pressure on, using his power and movement to keep Garcia off balance. You could see that the power shots from Rolando Romero had made Garcia a little trigger shy. He wasn't throwing his usual combinations, probably worried about getting countered once more. Garcia tried to find his rhythm, but Rolando Romero's aggressive tactics made it tough for him to get comfortable. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Rolando Romero really looked big and strong, and I thought that coming into this fight, actually Ryan Garcia might be the bigger man, but it did not seem like it. It seemed like Rolando Romero had enough size, enough power to just take control of the fight and pretty much bully Ryan Garcia for all 12 rounds. My opinion is not only that they've sparred before, they know each other pretty well, but it's also that Ryan Garcia has been absent of fighting. He was suspended. He has not fought for a full year, so there might be a little bit of ring rust in there. Also, I might add that I don't know why people underestimate Rolando Romero so much. I mean, this is the 3rd time he becomes world champion. Ryan Garcia has never been world champion. Everybody went on the hype train because he beat Devin Haney. But before that, nobody gave Ryan Garcia a shot against Haney. Then he beats Haney. Now he's like the best 140 and now 147 fighter of the world, which is crazy. After 12 rounds, the judges scored the fight unanimously for Rolando Romero. The scores were 118 to 109 and twice 115 to 112. With this win, Romero claimed the WBA regular welterweight title. This would be the 3rd time he wins a world title. This loss was a setback for Ryan Garcia, especially after returning from 1-year suspension. He had been aiming for a rematch with Devin Haney, and Devin Haney was really aiming for a rematch with him to get that get back. But this defeat puts those plans on hold, or maybe not, because Rolando Romero, even before this fight happened, he was saying, no, I think Devin Haney should have that rematch. And honestly, how we see the world of boxing changing, how we see that losses no longer mean that much. You can have a loss and still continue. Canelo has lost. Fury has lost. Anthony Joshua has lost. Ryan Garcia has lost. Tank Davis just had a draw. I'm kind of happy for that, and I agree with Rolando Romero. This fight is bigger than just scores, wins, or losses. This is personal at this point. Considering the level of the competition in the card, it was a huge opportunity for Romero to make a statement. And he did just that. And he did it in the biggest stage in the middle of Times Square in New York City. As for Devin Haney, seeing Garcia lose might change his move. He might be shooting for a fight with Rolando Romero now. Haney was clearly interested in the results, since it could determine if he gets a rematch after that controversial fight with Ryan Garcia. With Garcia losing, it's unclear what Haney's next step will be. But again, I don't see the problem. I'm gonna side with Romero on this. I think it's personal. At this point, it's not just about wins or losses. It's about making right. There's highlight clips out there of Devin Haney getting knocked down and beat by Ryan Garcia, who apparently was on PEDs. I got my own opinion on that, but that's a video for another day. Romero's victory was a significant achievement in his career, showcasing his power, pressure, and ability to break down a skilled opponent. For Ryan Garcia, it was a moment to reflect and regroup. It was clear that Romero's power shots made him hesitant, and that's something he'll need to work on going forward. He hadn't really fought like very big punchers like that other than Tank Davis, and we know what happened there. With the likes of Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez also featured on this card, the night was packed with talent and big fights, but Romero's performance definitely stood out, especially after that co-main event with Devin Haney, which was a snooze fest. It was almost as bad as Canelo Alvarez fight that would follow up the next day in the main event. We'll have to see how both fighters move forward from here. But that's all I have for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and see you next time. Take care.